Well, hello everybody. I can't help but look at maps. We had a lot of people upset about this spot for Atlantis, and I made it clear in my last video that I don't have a problem with parts of Atlantis being from here. I also think that there's a lot of likelihood that there was something here. But what I wanted to talk about is this line here, because people think it's like a line of islands. I think it's all agreed that the Atlantic Ocean was created from the separation of the tectonic plates of Africa and the Americas and the Northern European area. So if it's true that these major land masses separated and created the Atlantic, then the Pacific Ocean is really, we've got some islands, including Easter Island. But what we don't have is the line. We have that line, but it's not really the same line that you see here going right down the middle of the oceans. And if you want to take it further, it's pretty apparent that that line is the starting point where these two land masses started to separate. This is the scar that shows the starting point, and you have a going there, and then it actually, you have this matches this. Now that I noticed when I was a young kid. And then I heard more and more about how it is assumed by scientists to have been together. This broke apart. And where did it break apart? It broke apart right here. So these close land masses, which is only about 2,000 miles apart, started right there in the center, where the line is. And this land here and this land here started right there. And if you don't believe me, go right here and look at this. Now, look at that little dent. And then go right there and look at that little dent. Are those dents not exactly the same size? You can almost see the hook here where it pulled from. You've got a nice little dent. So something like this happening? No, I doubt it. Where's all this land now? Where is it? You can see that there's nothing there. Okay, look at the distance here. I got it at 708. And now we go over it here. Go from this Carport point. And measure the distance up to this point, and it's 712 kilometers. So that one was 708, and this is 712. You see a lot of scarring out here, and you see the scarring is where it started to separate. But when you get closer to the newer area, you have a lot of sand. It's not as scarred up. Same with over here. Take a look at this. And these islands, I have to be honest, I kind of believe Mud Fossil University about how he said that this was created by the sand, because look how flat and nice that is. And so if Africa's dragging across here, and this is all new area, new sand, and with the islands that have changed here, then we also can realize this is very, very enigmatic. It doesn't really stay the same. The coast does. The coast started here. It looks exactly the same as it does now. I don't think that there was a big open area. I think there were rivers going up to the Richat structure, and those have filled up with sand. By the way, this is how I kind of perceive the area that went up to Atlantis, like this. We don't have a clear picture of these other islands. I think it's really not big enough. This is like 10 kilometers long, this island. And I would say it's just pure sand. The question is whether or not there was an access way up here. Was there an access way over here? Doubt it, because it's a little bit too far to have any canals. But here, this direction to the sea, that's what the Plato writing said, was there was an access way that went straight to the sea. Well, where was the sea? There was probably crevices and openings, and there was a river here. Here in this topographical map, you can see that the sand level was actually so flat in this whole area here that if that ancient Maghreb lake flooded right through here and filled up any ancient rivers with sand, it would have gone right through here. So we've got, where are we? There's Dakar. See, this line right here shows that there's as much sand in the water as out of the water right there. There's Dakar and there's Cape Murik. So this is the separation point between the two river basins. This is the one, this is lower one is Senegal, but it didn't really take into account this one river that was there before. I've shown you a million times in the maps that there was a river going right up there. So this side was the Tamasaret River right there. This side was the one way that it would have gone on up there. And look how much area there is to move there. I've got that topographical one. Look at the topographical. Let's go in there and look at this. You could get some 3D glasses on. I've seen this in 3D before. Okay, not much getting through there. Look at that. That's the place where water would pass. So it would have to be right through there. Look at all that. That doesn't look like bedrock at all. That looks like a sand. That looks like a big sandbar right there. But look, you've got a riverway right there between two mountains. But here, no. Sand, sand, sand. That looks like a little ridge of bedrock, maybe. The thing that is not this dirt right here, that's the sand that's getting deposited over the years. This thing is enigmatic. This is not hard rock. That's hard rock. Look at that. That's nice hard rippled. It's got grain. It's got rivers grain. That's erosion. Like that is not moving. I mean, if there was a canal coming out of there, it would have been right there. And that is directly south. Directly south, and it's the closest place where water would have been up against it. Here, going around here, coming through here. There's probably land connected to an island. This is a mountain range here. That's a mountain. That's a mountain ridge. That's like 700 meters high. That's a very high mountain. But over here, you see in here it's very high, but over here it looks like it's about the same. It's full of sand. Sand came past it, it filled it up. You don't see a lot of sand inside there though. And that's an interesting point. Was there ever sand in there? Was there ever water? If Atlantis, all these lands here were full of people. I don't mind doing it again. I'm getting good at this. I'm getting really good. So again, Hoden would be Wadane, or I sometimes you thought that was a Q, Quadane. Down here, you can see it. It's really the same. This one right here, Ancient Lakes right above it. And by the way, look at that island there. It's totally different from the way the island was in the other. You can tell up here that this is a separate way, but maybe the sand just went right over there. That's pretty sandy. Doesn't look like hard rock. That is a live, enigmatic shape there. And same with right here. What you have is Point Sintra, this place. By the way, that wasn't always like that. But this point right here was always like that. That's rock. You can see the rock sticking through here. It's a little more grainy. It's a lot harder. Right there. Not like up here. This is like almost pure sand. There's a little bit of Atlas Mountains sticking through right here. But what I don't see is this edge right here. This looks pretty soft, so that could have been the access point. I'm thinking must have gone right through here, right straight down.